I don't mind open worlds. I just don't like it when open worlds are full of menial bullshit that isn't that fun or interesting to engage with. When I remember The Witcher 3, I remember like the incredible voice acting, the quest lines, the intrigue, the like dungeon. I remember a lot of stuff. What I don't remember is like traipsing about a flower field, finding like four identical camps of bandits where they were all guarding one chest that had a piece of armor marginally better than the one I was holding. Oftentimes open world stuff is just a way of like padding, and if it's not fun and engaging, then I don't think it's good. The open world can be used to supplement like gameplay stuff. Like for example, The Outer Wilds is an open world game where the open world is not only great but necessary to the game structure. I'm actually pretty critical of Elden Ring as somebody who really likes From Software games and really likes playing them. It's kind of annoying that anytime you start a new run, like anytime you want to do something new or do New Game Plus or whatever, you have to spend like an hour running around gathering stuff or like just running straight to the first boss. Like imagine you're doing New Game Plus and you've already gotten everything. Do you know how much running you have to do to get all the remembrance bosses? Like it's so much running. It's even worse if it's a new game because then you have to run around and collect all the tree golden seeds and all of the flask upgrades and all the waypoints and all the blah, 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 and like so much stuff. A lot of Elden Ring runs for like no hit or like specific weapon builds or whatever, you can see the timer on the screen. They won't start fighting bosses until like an hour in. You know? Kind of sucks. Go see somebody do a meme run of Dark Souls 3 or whatever. You fight your first boss, Gundyr, in like 1 minute. He's right there, you know? The open world stuff is very beautiful and it facilitates exploration, but not so much like the combat side of things. Oh, wait, I'm going to say one other thing and then I'm going to move on. This is one of my biggest issues with Breath of the Wild, okay? There is nothing more fucked up than a big open world game where you collect stuff that makes you stronger and makes the final game easier. That's really dumb. The more time you spend, and this is like every open world game, the more time you spend running around, the stronger you're going to be. Why would you then supplement that by making the late game content that you're putting off easier? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like in Breath of the Wild, it's especially bad because running around for a while makes you stronger because you get like level ups with the shrines and seeds and stuff and the weapons you get, and then you also defeat the divine dungeon beasts to make the final fight easier. And then if you get all four of them, they like nuke the Ganon to like half health. And it's like, fuck, by that point, you're like invulnerable. Why would you make the final challenge so laughably easy after someone spent 100 hours running around? I think that you should be able to do shit to make it harder. Like imagine if instead in Breath of the Wild, there was like stuff strewn about the open world where you could activate like obelisks that would like raise a super ultra boss or something. I'm just spitballing, but I think it's kind of dumb when an open world like gets you so over leveled that by the time you do the final thing, it's like fucking Jover. Kind of like, you guys remember that from like Fallout New Vegas? Like the more open world stuff you do, the more of a like pithy nothing the final fight is. If you don't do any of the quest lines and just go right into it, it's a really tough battle for Hoover Dam. But if you like do everything, then you go over there, you're an invulnerable fucking demigod, and you have like support from all your allies, you know? It's like it lessens the like mechanical interest of the final fight. I think there are ways around that. What if there were secret end bosses that you unlock the more you explore? I like that personally. I think that the more you engage with a big open world, the more you should like have the ability to really tune up the final fight, you know? And some games do that, but I think overwhelmingly it's kind of an issue. Why doesn't the difficulty logic from Dark Souls apply to the Breath of the Wild? Like if the easy mode for Elden Ring is magic, doesn't it make sense the hard mode for Breath of the Wild is not clearing the Divine Beast? Yeah, but doesn't that suck? That the hard mode for Breath of the Wild should be not doing any of the dungeons or engaging with any of the content? That sucks. Like, oh, you want to play a game that's challenging? Well, then don't do anything in it. Just to run directly to Ganon's castle. Okay, like, yeah. It's kind of the same with Elden Ring. I really don't like magic in Elden Ring because it's not that it makes it easier, it's that it makes you ignore the content. Like, if you are decently well leveled in Elden Ring, which isn't hard to do, and you have like the right spell, and like one buff spell, most bosses you can just sit invulnerably on the far side of the arena and fucking buffer them from afar and they just die, you know? Melania is really easy if you have any of the night spells because she can't dodge them. You just run, like, cause she'll just walk towards you. She'll just and you just run to the other side of the arena and that's not easy mode. You're just like skipping the content. It's kind of like how I don't like summons in Elden Ring either. Not because they make fights easier, but because they fundamentally change how they work. Where instead of you fighting like an easier version of the boss, you like, they just like turn and attack another guy who tanks for you while you just stab them in the back 50 times till they die. I don't like that. I think that the easy and hard modes should preserve the core challenge and the core appeal of the gameplay. It should just make it easier or harder. I think that's fair. Do you think Dark Souls would only be improved with a genuine easy mode? No, shouldn't like a Dark Souls easy mode be like there's a covenant that you can join that gives you like a damage resist and damage boost or something? Because that way the game plays exactly the same way, except it's easier, right? That's fine by me. Or what if in Elden Ring there was a quest line that did that? Where instead of like magic or summons being the thing they are, like you could there are like, I want ways to adjust the difficulty that don't like make it a totally fucking different game the way that magic does, you know? Yes, adjusting game difficulty can be incredibly difficult. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Would Elden Ring be better if the cheaty playstyles weren't in the game? Oh man. Okay, last thing I'm gonna say, okay, because this actually does bother me. Who here knows a guy called Distortion 2? He's a really prominent speedrunner. He played Elden Ring. I think he currently has like the world record in Elden Ring for like any percent run or something. Or maybe he used to and doesn't currently. He's really popular. He's like, I like him. He's funny. But after I beat Elden Ring, I went back and I wanted to watch some other people's first experiences, and I watched his because he has it all on YouTube. Really, Galley. Damn, he's good. And watching other people experience the magic of Elden Ring for the first time is so fun. Like having them see like Market for the first time and how complicated of a boss Market is for the literal first real boss, or how fucking cool and awesome the second phase of Godric is, or the meteor attack from Radahn, and like the reaction from chat and people are freaking out. And this really bothered me, okay? Because early on in the game, Distortion 2 was challenged by these boss fights, in spite of Distortion 2 being an infinitely better player than me, right? Like, it took me a bunch of tries to defeat Margit the first time. It did not take him a bunch of tries. It took him like 3 or something. Like, he's very good, you know? But just because he was good doesn't mean he wouldn't get killed, right? He died to basically everyone a couple of times. But then he got mimicked here. See, originally Mimicked here was even more broken than it is currently. He went to Nokron and got Mimicked here, and he started leveling it. And after that, like, everything changed. Because he started using Mimicked here, and every boss was a joke. Like, not even it was easier, but it was just like he didn't even get to see the fucking fight, because they would literally stun lock the boss into nothing. Like, it would get poise broken, and they would just wail on it while it was on its knees on the ground. And then he was like, okay, I won't use the Mimicked here, right? So he stopped using it because it wasn't just easier mode. It was like not fun mode. But then he started using it for like the second or third fight every time he would attempt a boss. And it was really fucking lame. Like he came up against Melania. He got Waterfowl Dance. Everyone in chat was pogging because the attack was so unfair, which it is. And then he beat Melania on a second try. Epic fucking cutscene before the second phase, you know, Goddess of Rot, she's naked, blah, blah. And what did the second phase look like? It looked like her getting fucking gangbanged into a corner by this guy and his doppelganger. Fucking two-hand great weapon, like slamming her into dust. She couldn't even get a fucking attack out. It was like nothing, you know? That's the problem that I have. It's not that these tools make the game easier. It's that they fundamentally break the encounters in a way that makes them less interesting and less fun and less engaging. I'm not saying that Elden Ring has to be crazy hard for everyone. I'm playing a Rune Level 1, no spells, no summons, no shields, no nothing playthrough right now, and it's difficult, and I like that. But I don't think everyone should have to play that way. Like, that's a me thing, you know? But having tried summons, it fundamentally changes the way you fight these bosses. And they nerfed Mimicked here, but still, like, summons are still incredibly fucking powerful. This was an issue during your Elden Ring tier list. You kept not finding videos of the actual fight. It was all Mimicked here. Yeah, that was really annoying. Yeah. Everyone would just, like, mimic. What did Mimicked here do? It creates a copy of you, and you both fucking wail on the boss and win instantly. Thank goodness, Vaush, I hate difficulty elitists. No. I'm not a difficulty elitist. I'm a gameplay elitist. Okay? I want people to have the same fundamental experience, whether they're playing on easy, medium, or hard, just with the difficulty tuned so that it's appropriately balanced for your skill level. But I want you all to have the same fun time, you know? I think that a person who isn't that good at Elden Ring should get to feel like they overcame Millennia on second phase by like rolling and dodging and da-da-da. And maybe they have more health than me. Maybe they have more damage resist than me. Maybe they do more damage than me. But fundamentally, they were doing the same fight. And the feeling of satisfaction they get is, again, fundamentally the same. But I don't think people feel that way when they're just doing the fucking Mimic Tier gangbang or like the 4 Nokron Shield Bearer gangbang or something, you know? I felt good after using Mimic Tier. Okay, I don't want to argue with you about your personal experiences. I'm just saying that I think good difficulty balancing means that people should get the same, like, basic experience, you know? Yeah, I don't think that a good way to make a game more difficult is to just scale up the health. That's what a lot of mainstream AAA games do because it's simple and easy, and I think it's really dumb. I think like you have to be careful with difficulty balancing. You know, you have to work within like the systems that make the game interesting. Nothing bothers me more than playing a game that's easy on normal difficulty and on hard it's tedious. Not difficult, just tedious. Fucking sucks. Isn't scaling health the easiest way to preserve the gameplay though? No, it's not. Because if an enemy that normally takes 1 hit to kill suddenly takes 4, that's not the same gameplay experience. It's fundamentally different. Totally different thing. If a boss that normally takes 2 minutes to kill takes 6, but all of the attack timings are the same, fundamentally different experience, you know? Add new mechanics, that's good, yeah. Adding new mechanics, I think, can be a good way of doing things, right? Or like slightly speed up some animations, maybe? That can also be a good way of doing it, in some cases. Usually what games like Elden Ring do is they have aggression scalers that they can use, and modders can actually alter it. Basically, enemies have like a roll table on the back end that determine what they're going to do, and it's influenced by circumstances that, you know, of the fight and also of their aggression scaler. And the higher their aggression is, the more likely they are to roll towards attacks that are more inconvenient for you. So like, you'll note when you're fighting Margit, for example, sometimes Margit will like chain together a bunch of attacks and sometimes he'll run back or like jump back and throw a dagger, you know? And you can like, if you balance that properly, I think what you should be able to do is go, oh, you want a difficult experience? Fuck you! And you tune the aggression scale from like 3 to 7, and all of a sudden, like, it's like he's being unfair, but all he's really doing is just attacking you more aggressively than before. Same attacks, you know, but you get less, you know, room to breathe. I think that's pretty good.